I have been renovating a house with my father, and we have used his Franklin Sensor 710, the original version, for years. I have noticed how much better it performs than any of the other types of stud sensors, of which I have 3 of various brands. I decided to pick one up for myself so that I could use it on some of my own projects. The Plus model is almost exactly the same as the original, save for the ruler on the top, the level bubble, and there is a slight size difference, less than 1/2, in all dimensions. See picture. As far as I understand, there weren't any internal changes. I can see the usefulness of the level bubble, especially if trying to hang something like a picture, and it isn't really worth getting a designated level. If you do have the original, it probably isn't worth buying the new version. But if you are trying to decide between the two, all else being the same, I would get the Plus version. The 710 Plus performs reliably, just the same as the original version. I know that I can trust the readings on this stud sensor. It is much more reliable than any other Type 1 have used. I have completely torn down every walls of the house I am renovating to bare studs, so I am familiar with stud locations in each of the walls. When I put the sensor up to the wall, the studs are all exactly where I expect them to be, and on some of the walls with only one finished side I can check the other side of the wall to verify the readings. I included a picture if it in use. Those familiar with construction know that one side or the other of a wall socket will have a stud, and the sensor correctly shows that in the picture. If you are serious about construction and find yourself regularly using stud sensors, the Franklin Sensor 710 Plus will almost certainly alleviate your frustrations with them. Suppose has all LEDs on if it is lays on along the stud, but it does not. I'm disappointed. I may return it. It bases on the differences, see my pictures, when scan. It is not worth the price if not 100% work. This is the Rolls-Royce of stud finders. Lights up lights where there is a stud and stays dark where there isn't. I like the little level on it because you can even draw a little line and know that it is level for hanging shelves, just a little added bonus. I hope I don't need to buy a new stud finder any time soon now that I have a quality one. Over 20 years or so I've used the common stud finders, under different brand names, you find at Lowe's and Home Depot, and have always found them lacking. They typically don't give repeatable indications as to where a stud starts and ends, frustrating. And I've typically ended up relying tap soundings to locate the likely stud center. Enter the Franklin. This gem is the real deal. It's amazingly accurate, and repeated measuring yields identical results. Da bomb. This stud finder actually works as advertised. I've had an older brand, style for years that was quite random and ineffective. This one, however, works great. I decided to try it to locate the rafters, 2x4s, in my ceiling because I am installing drywall over popcorn ceiling. I was concerned that it might not work through that stuff. No worries. Click link in description for more reviews.